Hi everyone, welcome to Pro Trader. My name is Kylie Hogg, and today we've got our fortnightly chat. Welcome, Jeff.
Hello.
Okay, so Jeff and I have been sitting here talking about the week that's been. What we're loving with the All Lords is that it's broken through this resistance, it's come back and found support, and now it's moving off again. Today we've had a bit of a pullback, which is not unexpected given that the Dow Jones had a big day, a down day yesterday, even though they did have two really big days prior to that. So just have a quick look at the Dow Jones. So that had some really good up moves, so a bit of a pullback yesterday. Nothing too drastic. Jeff, you suggested a scan you did the other day, got some good results.
Yeah, just a saucer with no nothing else, just a plain saucer, and we got 27.
27, perfect. So just so you're playing at home, it's in scanning tools, patterns and events. All we did was tick that saucer bottom and left everything else blank. So that's what Jeff was just talking about. We got 27. Now this, just bear in mind, is like a computer generated pattern. So ideally your eye is the best way of finding these patterns. Saying that though, we came up with some pretty good ones, didn't we?
We did. I think the first one was CC9 was the first one that we liked.
Yeah, we'll just quickly go through the list. So A3D is not too bad. That is not a saucer. However, it's also not bad. It's done a retracement and it looks like it's forming high highs, high lows. One to keep an eye on.
On-balance volume is good too.
Yeah. Adam, Global X, this is a uranium ETF. So clearly uranium's had a bit of a bounce, as will be evident with lots of other uranium stocks. I don't know what your buy would be and where your target would be on that, but you can play around and work that out. BOE, okay, I think this is another uranium stock. Again, this is not a saucer, but saying that, I like that it's got an all-time low. We're seeing high highs, high lows, and the usual with me, it's reached a peak and moving sideways, which looks pretty good. The longer it can do this, the better for its next run. CC9, okay, this is the one that Jeff and I were talking about. This looks amazing.
It does. I think obviously the 30 cents is a barrier, but its on-balance volume is increasing. You could have said that the 20 cents is where you should have got in, but
yep,
there's still room to get in, I think.
Yeah, I think so. A lot of people talk about these sorts of shapes where it's a saucer and then it forms a little cup, like a cup and handle. You could argue this is now its little handle. The OBV in volume is doing everything it should do. It looks like there's low volume. The OBV could stay steady. It keeps moving along this level, which is 30, like exactly what Jeff said, 30 cent level. Break through that. Looks really very promising. Don't really know anything about this stock though.
No, I haven't had a look in that respect.
No, but that's a good one. I like that. I think we've added that to our watch list.
Yep.
CR9, again, this is not really a typical saucer pattern, but it's not horrendous. The only thing I'd say about this, there's not many out there, but there's very limited volume going through. ESK, a bit the same, not really saucer. FL1, oh yes, this is one that we mentioned that we did talk about. This again is doing the same. Again, it's not, I wouldn't call it a classic saucer. However, it's come up on a scan and it looks pretty good. It's formed an all-time low. It's creating high highs, high lows. There was a big rejection on this level, which again, when you look across, is not surprising. However, it's holding and doing all the right things. Not much goes through, but there's only 79 million out there, so really tightly held. This thing's going to pop, it'll pop. Yeah. So yeah, I think we'll add that onto our watch list.
Well, I have, yes.
You have? Good. We'll go through that in the next fortnight, see what it's done.
Yeah.
HRE, I think we'll move on. IDT you mentioned.
Yeah, there is, well, supposedly a saucer there, but I just like the top action. Probably a break of 13.5.
Yeah, when
And
it's out there. Yep, yep.
and it's also not in mining; it's in healthcare, so it's
Health,
sort of
yeah,
something different.
bit different. In fact, to probably remove the look of the saucer to give it a bit better of an idea, you could draw a box around that.
Yeah.
It's a big box, but it gives you a bit more of an idea of what it's doing right now rather than a saucer pattern. Shabby, why? Holy smokes, what got into that?
I'd pass on that one. It's obviously
it's got a lot of work to do. KRM, I didn't mind this one. I don't know why. It's gold. It's come back. I don't even know what to say. I'd keep an eye on this one. Mind you, there's hardly any volume, so probably not. Right, LIC.
That's come up as a saucer. I like it because of the gaps.
Yeah.
And I think it's not at all-time lows, but I think it's got a lot of scope to increase.
Yeah, I really like, if we were to draw a line across where it gapped down to, is almost where it's at now, which might even cheat and move that down a bit. It's kind of at that resistance level. So there is a gap at $10.87 roughly. You'd like to think with high highs, high lows, this thing's turning around. Perhaps start a new uptrend. Keep a close eye on it though. Yeah, that's not a bad one. Yeah. Shall we stick that in our watch list?
I would.
Think it's worth watching.
It's a bit dearer for me, but I'd still have a look at it.
Still have a look, yeah, absolutely. We're liking these things that are at the bottom at the moment. Well, talking about bottom, I think that one's going in our watch list. I would argue that this is a classic saucer style pattern. I'm going to say that because it's come in from a really big downtrend. This is true bottoming action here. OBV and volume are kind of matching a saucer shape. It's not perfect, but it's very similar to it. I do like, it's just sort of mirroring it. You would say your first initial buy would have been at, say, 4,748. We've missed it, but I think this thing could potentially give us a few more chances. Actually, I'm going to say 4.5 cents. It's now approaching 5.5 cents. I think this looks pretty good in my eyes.
Yeah, it has had a run, but I think there's still more left in it if you were looking at getting in. I think the 5.5 is probably a bottom if you look further along the chart.
Yep. Yes, it is. Yeah.
So and the gaps that are further up. So I think you've probably got at least another 5 or 6 cents in it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, work for me. Here we go. I'm just going to draw a line across 5.5 so you can see what Jeff means with the bottoming. So there's your support and resistance there with that there. So yeah, I think it looks good. If it was to behave itself and move along 5 cents for a week or two would be ideal.
Yeah. Yes.
Find some real resistance there and then have a really good breakthrough, would see another good run through it. So, yep.
I also think that if you look at over a 5-year period, that's close to all-time lows as well.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Again, Lake Resources, I have heard of these guys. Right now, it escapes me what these guys do. But anyway, pattern looks good. Going in the watch list. Okay, next. This looks like another ETF. Ultra long NASDAQ. Okay. Don't know. You'd need to do some research. It looks pretty good. We've had a low here. It's forming high highs, high lows. So, yeah, that's not too bad. Not a saucer, though. LOT, I wouldn't call this a saucer either. But again, it's come down. What does it look like on a big picture? Eek. I think this might be just going to continue on a downtrend. I'd watch this one a bit warily.
Yes.
With a bit of caution. Lark. Oh, distillers. Sounds like me. Beverages. That's not bad. I like that one too. This is what we talk about all the time, where we see this resistance at this level, and then it's broken through, which is fantastic. That's a really good level of resistance. Shame we missed it, but now we're going to be ready, waiting for the next one.
I don't think it's too late on that one, to be honest. It's I think that there's a lot of scope, especially if you look further back on the chart. If they've had a rough few years, I think they might have turned the corner by the looks of it.
It looks pretty good. There's a good bottoming action there on that one as well.
On balance volume picking up steadily over the last couple of months.
Yeah, doing all the right things. That looks good. There's not many out there and still a bit of volume. Not a lot of volume, but it's still something that goes through. So, yep, watch list for sure. Oh, we'll just flick over the next one. NMR, I think I've been in this. I don't think it treated me well. Again, no volume in this, so I think we'll just move on. Okay, look, it has moved, and that's been a really good move. Can't deny that. If you're in it, that's great. You'd have to really wait for a bit of a pullback or sideways move before you get another buy signal, in my eyes.
There's nothing in that chart for me, to be honest.
No, we'll move on. NXG, this is showing lots of signs of life. Again, where do you start with it? I'm going to put this on a weekly chart because it's quite messy. So put a bit of work. That's been a big move, a pullback as you would expect. It's moving again. It's pretty volatile. You would think that this level where it is, this is a tricky one, would get, that looks like support resistance if we put a line through here. Oh, goodness sake, sorry. All right, that's it.
About 11.
Yeah, roughly. I'm just going to draw a line roughly through there. This is tricky. I'll leave it to you guys to make up your mind. PLL, lithium. Yes, we're talking about lithium and whether it's flavour of the month at the moment.
I think there's a lot of lithium that's moving at the moment, but whether it sustains, that I don't know. That has had a run already. I would just watch that for a little while to see whether it breaks the 20 cents.
Absolutely. The one thing I'm really loving, what I love the most about this pattern, what I do look out for, is that it has bottomed. You can argue there's been high highs, high lows, but really what I'm loving is this move here. It's had an increase, steady, level OBV, lower volume coming through. It's forming a box pattern. I'd be keeping an eye on this. Again, you could go, is this the cup and handle that's forming now? I actually would put this on my watch list. I think it would look good if this pattern here in this box can form for a week or two. Happy days.
Yep.
Okay. PRG, I'm just going to move on from that one. And I think Rice Growers Limited, no, I'm going to move on. STX.
I think you were in this a while ago, weren't you?
I've been talking about this one. I haven't been in it. Yeah, I think I was in it a few years ago.
I think to me, it's a break at 25. There is a big gap up around 40. The only thing concerns me is that the on-balance volume seems to be playing around.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, not convinced yet, but watching it.
There is a lot of them out there too.
Yeah, that's true. We've seen some really good ones. Oh, and here's another uranium ETF. We had Atom before. Now this is EuroNM, and it looks very, very much the same. Couldn't argue with that. If you wanted to park your money somewhere in uranium at the moment, doesn't look too bad. And VAR, no, I don't know why. I'm just going to move on from that. VUL, Vulcan Energy, looks good too. Again, it's doing all funny little things. I have to admit I've been watching this for a while and I can't keep track of what it's doing. It's all over the place. So it's probably best to, if you're going to buy it, not watch. Definitely looks good on a longer term chart. Definitely on a weekly, looks quite good, might be worth watching. see and come to your own conclusions on that one. Okay, that's it. I think we've found some really, that was a good scan, Jeff. Nice one.
That's all right. That's good. Hopefully somebody can get something out of that.
Yeah, play around with it, see how you go. All right, thanks, Jeff. We'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks.
All right. See you later.
See ya.